All right, let's dive into the world of dividend stocks today and, really figure out how these things can help build a passive income stream.
Yeah.
We've got a bunch of research
All
here,
right.
market analysis, even some real world examples of companies that pay dividends.
Awesome.
And you know what's really interesting? Did you know that some companies actually pay dividends monthly?
Oh, I did know that. Yeah, monthly dividend payers, they're out there.
Imagine that. Like a little bonus every single month.
Yeah, especially in a market like we're seeing now at the end of 2024 when things are all over the place.
Right.
You're not just relying on those stock prices going up. You're
Yeah.
getting paid just for owning the stock.
So, okay, let's break it down.
Sure.
Like, what exactly are dividend stocks?
Okay, so basically when you buy a dividend stock,
Yeah.
you're buying a piece of a company that shares its profits with shareholders.
So it's like I'm a mini partner in the company,
Exact.
and those dividend payments are my cut of the earnings.
Exactly right.
So it's not just about potential stock price increases.
Right.
It's about getting a direct return on my investment, even if the market is going crazy.
Yeah.
In fact, one of the articles we have here, Inclustrad Text, even calls it a profit-sharing machine.
Yeah, and Seeking Alpha is saying that these dividend stocks,
Oh, really?
yeah, they could actually be a good hedge against all the potential volatility that they're predicting in 2025.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But okay, so why would a company choose to pay these dividends?
Right.
Like, wouldn't they just want to keep all that profit for themselves?
Well, they use these dividends to attract investors,
Oh, okay.
make the stock more appealing.
So it's like a benefit for owning the stock.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, for people who are looking for some income from their investments.
Yeah.
And, it can be a sign that the company is really financially healthy and stable
Okay.
because, the companies that consistently pay dividends are usually the ones that are doing really well.
So it's almost like they're saying, hey, we're doing good and we want to share it with you.
Right.
Okay. But how do I know if the company's dividend is reliable? Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to get caught if they suddenly stop paying them.
Right. Well, that's where you really have to do your research.
Okay.
One of the first things to look at is the dividend yield.
And what is that?
So that's basically the annual dividend payment as a percentage of the stock price.
Oh, okay.
So a higher yield might look really good,
Right.
but it's not the whole story.
So what else should we be looking for?
Okay, well, one thing is a stable dividend history.
Okay.
You want to see that they've consistently paid
Mm-hmm.
and ideally increased their dividends over time.
So, like, they're not just going to cut me off after a year or something.
Exactly, yeah. It shows they're really committed to rewarding their shareholders
Yeah.
and they have confidence in their earnings in the future.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So what if a company has a high dividend yield,
Yeah.
but their payout ratio is also really high?
That's a great question. Yeah, the payout ratio shows us how much of their earnings they're actually paying out as dividends.
Okay.
So ideally, you want a lower payout ratio below 70%.
So that means they have more money left over.
Yeah, for things like growth and, covering expenses if anything unexpected
So
happens.
they're not going to have to cut the dividends.
Right.
Okay.
So yeah, a high dividend yield is good,
Uh-huh.
but a sustainable payout ratio is really important.
Okay, so high dividend yield,
Yeah.
sustainable payout ratio, what else?
Well, strong business fundamentals are crucial too.
Right.
You want to invest in companies that are doing well.
Yeah.
They're competitive in their industry, and they have a clear strategy for growth.
So, like, not just chasing the highest dividend yield,
Right.
but finding companies that are going to be around for a while.
Exactly.
Okay, Inclustrad Text gives us some examples here, like Johnson & Johnson, Coca-Cola, Procter Gamble,
Yeah.
AT&T, Realty Income, and Investor AB.
Those are all great examples.
Yeah,
And, it's interesting. They're all in different sectors.
that's a really good point.
Yeah.
We can't put all our eggs in one basket.
All right. Diversification's key.
Let's talk more about that in the next part.
Okay, sounds good.
And the snowball effect of reinvesting those dividends.
Yeah, that's a really important concept.
All right, we'll be right back.
So yeah, diversification is key. We can't put all of our eggs in one basket, even if it's a dividend-paying basket.
Right, exactly.
Right.
So how do we actually go about building this diversified dividend portfolio?
Okay, so it's not just about picking a company from each sector.
Okay.
You really have to look at the individual strengths and risks.
Okay.
Like, for example, in the consumer staples sector,
Yeah.
Morningstar really likes companies like mention a specific company from Morningstar's analysis because they have strong brands.
Okay, yeah.
And people always need those products.
Right, people are always going to need toothpaste and laundry detergent.
Exactly.
What about more volatile sectors like tech?
Right.
Can you find good dividend payers in tech?
Yeah, you can, but it's a little trickier.
Okay.
You know those younger companies that are growing really fast?
Yeah.
They usually put all their profits back into growing the business.
Oh, okay.
So they're not as focused on paying dividends.
So if I'm looking for those steady dividends,
Yeah,
I should probably stick with the more established tech companies.
exactly. The ones that have been around for a while and have a good track record.
Like, mention a specific mature tech company known for paying dividends from the sources.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so diversification is key.
Right.
And we need to look at those individual companies,
Yeah,
not just the sector,
right.
but how do I actually go about building this portfolio?
Okay, so Inklastrad Text gives a really good step-by-step guide.
Okay.
And it starts with setting a goal.
A goal for like,
Yeah, like how much passive income do you want
oh, okay.
each year?
So if I want like $5,000 in passive income
Okay, yeah.
and I'm aiming for a 4% dividend yield,
Mm-hmm.
I would need to invest $125,000.
Right, exactly. And of course, the actual amount will vary
Right.
depending on the specific stocks you pick.
Okay, so set a goal,
Right.
figure out how much money I need, and then
Start picking those stocks.
across different sectors.
Exactly.
Okay, what about this snowball effect?
Oh, the snowball effect.
Yeah, what is that?
This is where it gets really exciting.
Okay.
So instead of taking those dividend payments and spending them,
Yeah.
you reinvest them
Back into the market.
right back into more dividend-paying stocks.
So those dividends generate more dividends,
Exactly.
which I can then reinvest and buy more shares and so on and so on.
Yeah, it's like a chain reaction.
Wow.
It's like rolling a snowball down a hill.
Oh, okay.
It starts small, but it just keeps growing and growing.
So patience is key here.
Yeah, the longer you let that snowball roll,
Uh-huh.
the bigger it gets.
So this isn't like a get-rich-quick scheme.
No.
This is like long-term.
Yeah, slow and steady.
Okay.
And the best part is anyone can do it. Yeah, you don't need to be a financial expert
Okay.
or have a ton of money to get started.
So I could start with a small amount
All right.
and just keep reinvesting those dividends.
Yeah, and over time it'll grow.
That sounds almost too good to be true.
Right.
Are there any downsides to this?
There are always risks with investing.
Right.
Companies can cut their dividends,
Okay. Yeah.
especially if the economy isn't doing well.
Right.
And even though they might seem stable,
Yeah.
they might not grow as fast as some other investments.
Okay. So it's all about balance.
Yeah, finding the right balance for you.
Right. Weighing the risks and the rewards.
Right, and figuring out what works for your goals.
Okay. So how do I actually BUY these dividend stocks?
Oh, it's easy.
Okay.
Most online brokerages let you buy and sell them,
Okay.
just like any other stock.
So it's the same process as buying like Apple or Amazon or something.
Yeah,
And then I just get those payments right into my account.
yeah. You'll receive those dividend payments right in your brokerage account. Okay.
And you can choose to reinvest them or
Yeah.
take them as cash.
Oh, okay, cool. Is there anything else I should know?
Oh, I almost forgot.
Yeah.
A lot of companies offer these things called DRUPs.
D-ROPs.
Yeah, dividend reinvestment plans.
Okay.
So your dividends are automatically reinvested
Oh, wow.
right back into the same stock.
Okay.
And sometimes you even get a discount.
Oh, wow. That sounds really easy.
Yeah, it's just super convenient.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the benefits.
Right.
But let's be real. Are there any, major risks I should be aware of?
Yeah. So like we talked about before,
Yeah.
companies can cut or eliminate those dividends,
Yeah.
especially during tough times.
Yeah.
And while they can provide some stability,
Yeah.
they might not have that explosive growth potential that some other investments do.
So it's all about finding the right balance for your own needs
Exactly.
and doing your research.
Yeah. And that's where those resources we talked about come in.
Like Morningstar and Investopedia. Exactly. They can really help you analyze those companies and
Right.
make those informed decisions.
So it's like having a financial advisor in my pocket.
Exactly.
All right, we've covered a lot of ground today.
Yeah.
From the basics of what dividend stocks are
Uh-huh.
to more advanced strategies like those DRPs
Right.
and how to diversify.
Yeah. And with all this talk about the market changing in 2025,
Right.
dividend stocks are definitely something to consider.
Yeah, it sounds like they could be a really valuable tool,
Yeah.
especially if you're looking for some stability and some potential growth.
Exactly.
Okay, so no guarantees, of course,
Right.
but they could be a good option.
Yeah, for the right person.
Yeah. Okay, so before we wrap up, I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
With all this talk about the market volatility in 2025,
Yeah.
could dividend stocks actually be a smart strategy for dealing with that uncertainty?
That's a really interesting question.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of these Seeking Alpha analysts are saying that
Yeah.
they might actually offer some protection.
It makes sense,
Yeah.
right? Those dividend-paying companies,
Yeah.
They're often really stable,
Right.
well-established businesses. They've been through a lot,
Yeah.
so they can handle those economic ups and downs.
Right. And they can probably weather those storms better than some of those high-growth companies.
Exactly. Those high-growth companies might be more exciting sometimes,
Yeah.
but they can also be riskier.
So it's all about finding that balance right
Yeah, for sure.
between growth and stability,
Finding what's right for you.
especially for building that long-term income stream.
Yeah, if you're looking for that steady income,
Yeah.
dividend stocks are definitely something to consider.
It's like building a house, right?
Exactly.
You need a strong foundation.
To weather any storm.
Right, exactly. And those dividend stocks,
Yeah.
they can be part of that foundation.
Providing that steady income even when things get a little crazy.
But of course, there's no guarantees.
Right.
I mean, even companies that have always paid dividends, they can cut them if they need to.
Exactly. Things happen.
Right, so it's important to do that research.
Yeah.
And choose companies that are doing well financially.
Yeah, ones that can handle the ups and downs.
And Morningstar and Investopedia, they can really help with that, right?
Absolutely.
Like having a financial advisor in your
Right
pocket.
there at your fingertips.
So what does all this mean for our listeners?
Yeah.
I mean, we've really gone deep into this world of dividend stocks.
They've covered a lot.
Yeah, the benefits, the risks. We've even talked about some cool strategies.
Those DRPs and that snowball effect.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really about giving you the knowledge and the confidence
Yeah.
to figure out if dividend stocks are right for you.
Because they can be a powerful tool
Yeah,
for generating that passive income.
long-term wealth.
And potentially even navigating those market ups and downs.
But there's no one-size-fits-all approach.
Right. Definitely not.
It's all about doing your research,
Understanding those risks.
making sure it aligns with your goals.
And your risk tolerance.
And remember Investopedia, Morningstar.
Yeah.
Those are great resources to guide you.
They can really help you make those decisions.
So we've given you the tools.
The knowledge.
Now it's time to take that information and figure out if dividend stocks are right for you.
Explore those options.
And remember, knowledge is power.
It really is.
And who knows, maybe dividend stocks will be your secret weapon.
To building that financial freedom.
This dream money machine.
Keep those dividends flowing.
And keep diving deep, my friends.